Hi. So I spoke about beginners planking where you don't really care about what it looks like. That's a very sort of rough approach to planking, but it's a hope that a beginner who's bought a kit that needs to be planked will at least manage to finish it, even if the planking looked odd and weird, but they managed to get a finished product, which is sort of like what was happening on my marina kit. On a period ship, and there's very good videos. This is the nice thing. There are very good videos on YouTube about planking period ships. But I wanted to just give a very quick overview for those that just wanted an explanation on how you approach the planking for period ships. And it is a lot slower process. So if you get to one of the videos on YouTube where you see the guy speaks about looking for the bulkhead which has the longest curvature. So you need to find out which part of your ship, usually here in the middle. I would guess it's probably one of these three, probably even one of these two. Let's just say it's that one, the longest overall distance from keel up to there. You mark down on a sheet and you measure the distance exactly to the millimeter for each of them, and then you'll see the guy dividing up by your plank thickness, and you find out how many planks could fit onto that bulkhead without narrowing the plank down, and you get a number. And that arrangement, that number of marks needs to be translated across your model that way and across your model this way. So you'd divide up, let's say it came to 20 planks, you would take that distance, divide it by 20 and mark. Take that one, take that one, take that one, take that one. And that shows you the line that a single plank should take. But that means your plank needs to be tapered. So once you've got the marks on your bulkheads and you've taken a specific plank that you want to position there, probably in the middle somewhere, you won't need to taper it, obviously, because you want to use the maximum length, maximum width of your plank. And then you're going to measure the distance to your bulkhead, mark out your bulkhead exactly on there, so that when you place that in position, you've got the pencil lines at each bulkhead. And you're going to have to measure the thickness, the width. So you might need to take off 0.5 millimeter there, slightly more, slightly more, slightly more. And so it's a lot of work for you to go and pre-taper that way and pre-taper this way according to what is required for the placement of that particular plank. A lot of test fitting, obviously. And then you might need to do a bit of steaming to get the plank to lay properly and get your first plank in position. And your first plank has to fit exactly in the pencil mark. So it's very important that you measured and got your pencil marks perfectly there. If you're a little bit short, it means you're going to have a gap when your next plank comes on, or you're going to be fighting for space because you haven't narrowed it enough. One might consider practicing that on a duplicate of your kit's bulkheads. Make a copy of just one side. Build yourself a little jig where you've got a section of the keel, or if you wanted to practice the entire half of a ship's hull, and go and buy yourself. I mean, the cost of the practice, I would say, is negligible compared to not achieving your kit. And try and go and practice that. And if you're not getting certain aspect of it right, you need to learn from the YouTube videos and practice it until you are getting it right. These bulkheads, of course, all need to be sanded so that the angle is exactly flat to the plank, so that your plank doesn't lie on just an edge of one of the bulkheads. So I mean, that alone is actually quite a job. So you want to ensure that you don't remove any of the one side of the bulkhead which does represent your exact shape at that point, but that you do narrow down slightly on the inside. If you're going that way, and of course the opposite side if you're going that way. By the time you're over here, this is actually quite an extreme angle that you're taking off, more than 45 degrees. This one might be even close to 45 on your second one. Well, at least over there, because you can see it makes quite a tight turn over there. Here it's still pretty flat, but then over here, quite a tight turn. So if you've got yourself a nice period ship, I would say take the time either to build another kit first, a non-period ship, and learn single planking, or if you've made up your mind that you want to tackle that period ship planking, consider at the least doing a replica of a difficult section, because you're going to face that difficult section on the model. Now, I did speak about filling in with balsa block. So you could take whatever balsa block, or it doesn't matter what type of wood, but balsa is easy to sand, cutting yourself pieces and filling in till you've essentially got a solid section here to lay your plank on, which will aid in adhesion of your planks. It's not necessary. Again, if you've made yourself a practice hole, a rough throwaway hole which you need to practice, that you can practice doing that, and sanding the balsa block and ensuring that your bulkheads are all angled correctly. Anything that isn't right is going to affect the result afterwards. You're either going to get a wavy finish to your planks, you're going to get V's forming in your planks. A plank should not end early. So on the marina, where it was okay to lay a plank to best fit, and whatever happened to the remaining planks as you then got your next best fit and your next best fit, that's not what you want on a period ship at all. Every plank is its best fit, but it involves you preforming that plank. Okay, hope that was okay. Maybe one last point I can say is that via that method, it wouldn't matter that much if you started from the keel upwards, although I guess that is recommended, and move towards there, because it going from the top towards the bottom or bottom towards the top, if you are fitting your planks exactly in between, exactly on your pencil marks for where they should have been, doesn't matter, your planks will fit either way. Now you will notice that this Constructo kit has given really good plywood on both the keel and the bulkheads, but I mean these bulkheads are amazingly strong. And that is exactly for the reason that when you start your planking can warp your hull. Now, I was looking at this one, and I don't know if you'd be able to notice it there, but if I hold this edge on, you're going to notice that there's actually a slight bow down. There's a slight bow down on that, and I don't want that. Now, that probably happened when I was gluing the backings for the guns, for the gun ports in. So this backing, and it's probably just in this region. So I need to undo the glue just on a couple of sections here. I do remember that before that was in place, the keel could be moved slightly from side to side, or in fact it had a basic warp in it already from when the plywood was manufactured. But even that slight concave on the one side there is not something that I'd want to start planking with. So I need to fix that, and I'll report back on the fixing of that at some stage. But anyway, that's a quick video on period ship, the approach to period ship planking. There's very good books out on it, and these days there's just so many videos on it as well.